We are closely monitoring Hurricane Laura, which intensified to a Category 2 storm overnight with sustained winds near 105 miles per hour. It's expected to produce a life-threatening storm surge and flash flooding conditions as well. The storm is expected to hit Louisiana and eastern Texas hard later on today. Texas Governor Greg Abbott announcing yesterday that the state is racing to evacuate residents in certain high-risk areas in a socially distanced manner due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We are also keeping a close eye on oil, with crude prices climbing to a 5-month high as producers shutter most of their output in the Gulf region ahead of this particular storm. You can see there Brent crude futures and WTI futures for oil up on the day. NBC News' Jay Gray joins us now from Lake Charles, Louisiana. And Jay, how exactly are people preparing down there?
Well, Dom, doing everything they can here, and especially with the latest news from the National Hurricane Center, which indicates this storm could be a Category 4 before making landfall. Calm conditions right now, that's going to dramatically change over the next several hours. The time to prepare, the time to evacuate quickly running out here. Sandbags, boards, and building tensions along the Gulf Coast.
Kind of nervous for Texas and the west side of Louisiana.
That's where forecasters say Hurricane Laura will cross the shoreline. Millions in the strike zone on high alert right now. Brittany Thomas and her family locking down their house before landfall. They'll ride it out.
We've got water, we've got all kinds of supplies. I mean, basically where we're at, it's equivalent to a bomb shelter, so I'm okay with that.
But many across the region
No, it's time to go.
Are moving to higher ground in some areas by the busload. But as families rush to shelters, the storm is not the only concern.
Here we are in the middle of a possible hurricane and trying to actually think about COVID too.
Many areas are using more and larger facilities than in the past, making room for social distancing as the storm continues to churn in the Gulf.
We expect the landfall to be just after midnight, Wednesday night into Thursday, and the high tide is at the same time as the expected landfall, so that's going to add additional water on top of that storm surge. A very dangerous situation developing.
With Laura growing, gaining strength, and barreling toward the coast. Yeah, and let's talk a little more about that storm surge predicted to be 9 to 13 feet. That wall of water will likely push into creeks, into bayous here and cause major problems inland as well.
Jay, I want to call particular attention right now because we looked at the map of the storm path. There is a lot of, I guess, oil and gas interest in the area out there. We're talking not far from Houston. We're talking the Louisiana coast. What exactly do you see the impact being on some of the oil refining and oil extracting activities that are happening out there right now?
No, you're absolutely right, and it's a great point, Dom. There are clusters of oil rigs just off the coastline here. And I know, having talked to some of the people from those rigs, they've already pulled many of those who work out there off. They're being locked down onshore in very safe environments, but it's going to slow production just a bit. And depending on how quickly this storm moves, they'll be able to get back out there. But they won't put anybody in harm's way until Laura is well out of the area.
All right, Jay Gray live for us on the ground in Louisiana. Thank you very much. Stay safe, Jay.